Hey there guys, so AliExpress is having their Mega Choice Day sale going on right now, and that's the sale that they have at the start of every month, and it's going on up until the 7th. And well, this is usually the type of sale that's going to be very indicative of the prices that we should expect to see throughout most of November. There's not really going to be too many surprises. I'm sure there will be the occasional system that comes out with a crazy price, but expect those to disappear pretty quickly. A lot of the times it's these early November sales that kind of set the tone for prices for the rest of the month. So let's jump in and take a look at what the mini PC market is looking like, because there have been some pretty major changes that have happened. So after scouring through all of the mini PCs that are available here, at least in the United States, and keep in mind guys, with AliExpress, it's very dependent on where you are in the world. Right now, if you're in the US, you're not exactly going to get the best experience on here, but there are some units that I want to highlight, and really it comes down to what the channel has mostly been focused on the last few weeks, and that is, of course, the Firebat systems are continuing to be the best systems to buy in the market right now. Now, as I said, there have been some shifts that have happened in the market. For one, the Firebat A8 has been gone for quite a while now. It's been a few weeks since it disappeared, and it has not been restocked. And in fact, there seems to have been a new unit that has been released, or at least been made available in the US store for Firebat, because I believe this unit's been out for a little while now. That is the Firebat A5P. This effectively right now is the replacement to the Firebat A8, and I say that because it's rocking the same Ryzen 7 8745HS, but this time it has 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 512 gigabyte SSD. Now, it is a downgrade, and it's a downgrade because there is less IO. You are no longer going to have an Oculink port, and of course it does come with less memory and storage, but it is a much cheaper price than the price point that we were seeing for the Firebat A8. And the Firebat A8 was already one of the best systems in the market when it came to Zen 4 processors, at least in terms of price, but overall design, it was incredible. It really is one of my favorite systems, so to see it gone is really disappointing to see. And I don't think that this is 100% a worthwhile successor, but that price point is crazy. $278 for a system with a Ryzen 7 8745HS is crazy. There is just nothing else on the market right now that is even remotely close to this. And to prove that point, let's jump over to Amazon. So if we jump over to Amazon and take a look at systems that are running anything with the Radeon 780M graphics, so the Ryzen 7 7840HS, the 8745HS, the 7H255, all of these chips are effectively the same thing. They're all going to perform pretty much the same. The only real differences are going to be if it's going to be single channel memory and whatever the TDP is. And looking at Amazon, the prices are not even comparable. In fact, the A5P is right here. It's being sold with the same configuration, and this pretty much confirms to us that we are also getting dual channel memory. So that is what makes it different than the A6 and the AM02, which are other Firebat systems that are really great value, but you get single channel memory, and that really affects the performance. But here, yeah, the A5P is one of the best deals that you can get right now for a Zen 4 mini PC, because it's $365. But in comparison to AliExpress, it's not even comparable, and everything else is just not able to compete at all. Look at the price points that we're at. We're looking at pretty much being in the $400s to $500. Some of these going up into the $600s. Of course, this does have a coupon that brings it down to $500. But again, we are hovering around that price range. This right here is a bare bones unit for $310. Or you could buy the system with 16 gigabytes of RAM, dual channel, 512 gigabyte SSD for $278. So already cheaper than what it is on Amazon. And you can use a coupon on top of that. That is a no-brainer deal, especially because now just look at the store here. This is kind of ridiculous. $200 gets you a system with a Ryzen 5 6600H. Fantastic deal, because again, you put a coupon on that brings it to below $200. This is the best sub $200 mini PC you can find on the market. The A6 at $256 would normally be a fantastic deal if it wasn't for the fact that an extra $20 gets you the A5P. crazy. Like, I need you to understand how crazy of a deal this is. And I think the only way that I can really explain it to you is to show you. So here I have the three systems. We have the Firebat A6, the Firebat AM02, and the Firebat A8 that we're using as a stand-in for the Firebat A5P. Again, it's the exact same chip. The only difference is that this is going to have 32 gigabytes of RAM, but I will be going into the BIOS and allocating 16 gigabytes to the iGPU. This is not going to affect performance at all, but that is going to restrict the system itself from using that extra memory as system memory. It's essentially just going to sit there part. So it's kind of simulating having 16 gigabytes of RAM, but of course, because we have so much allocated to the iGPU, it's not going to be a one-to-one comparison, but that should not affect the performance at all, especially in the titles that we're going to be taking a look at. And of course, starting things off, we have to test out the most popular game on Steam. This is Counter-Strike 2. This is running with the lowest in-game graphics settings, but we have FSR disabled. And you can see the pretty dramatic difference in performance out of all of these systems just out of the box. Both the AM02 and the A6 are really just falling behind, especially in those 1% lows. The FPS averages aren't too bad, but when you compare it to the 141 FPS that you're getting with the 8745HS, and this is just costing you essentially an extra $25, this is an enormous increase in performance. But easily one of the most impressive upgrades here is Rainbow Six Siege X. We're running at the lowest in-game graphics settings, and we're using FSR at the quality setting. This is FSR 2.0. So really very aggressive settings in terms of trying to maximize performance here. And you can see the results of that with the 8745HS. Because it has that dual channel memory, we're able to get an FPS average of 153. This is insane levels of performance in comparison to both the AM02 and the A6, where both of them are getting nowhere even near a 60 FPS average, and those 1% lows are a disaster. It would be so easy to upgrade both of those systems, but even in their upgraded state, they're not going to be able to close the gap with the 8745HS, and you're going to be spending more to upgrade them. Look, another title that demonstrates a huge uplift here is Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. This is the game running with the medium graphics settings. I always say the medium graphics settings is what you should aim for because it's what gives you the visual quality upgrade that came with Bannerlord. If you're playing at low or very low, you're pretty much playing at not too far a quality settings as you would get in Warband. But the medium graphics are pretty demanding. It's the most demanding upgrade that you can do in terms of the graphics in the game. And as you can see, only one of these is going to give you a great experience at these settings. Now, to be fair, you can get this game to be playable on any of these systems if you are willing to go very aggressive with the graphics settings. But as I said, I think that medium is really the minimum if you want to get the full experience of Bannerlord, because I can promise you, you can't tell the difference between ultra and medium, but you can definitely tell the difference between medium and low. And as you can see, it is the only system that will play this game with these graphics settings and give you a great experience just out of the box. So as you can see, there is a big out of the box difference between the A5P and the A6 and the AM02. This right now, this is just the best mini PC that you can buy on the market today. You get Zen 4 for under $300, and you can get a coupon that brings that down to $250, man. $250. When on Amazon, the comparable system to this is this exact system itself for like $70 more. And the God's honest truth is that this is delivered by Amazon. I have bought 3 systems from Firebat at this point on AliExpress, and all 3 systems were delivered by Amazon. So this is the exact same system that is being sold on Amazon for $70 or $80 more. Like, it's crazy how good of a value this system is. And look, I understand I didn't use this exact system for the comparison. I used one that is very similar spec wise. I can promise you that there is not going to be any real noticeable difference. Now, do keep in mind, this thing is a downgrade in comparison to the A8, but that's because the A8 is a gigantic system in comparison, and you'll see that because I ordered one of these. Like, I'm actually getting one of these. It should be arriving in the next few days, but I did order one of these, and I can promise you that the level of performance that this is going to give is going to be very comparable to the A8, if not identical. Now, one of the benefits of the A8 is that because it's such a big system, it is very quiet. It also has an Oculink port, and overall the I/O seems to be better than this. That was a system that was still selling for about $150 more than this is selling right now. And I love the fact that they do confirm that it comes with dual channel. Even right here, right there, you can see 5600 memory sticks, 2 times 8 gigabytes. So this is dual channel, and that is going to give you the best out of the box experience. You guys remember, if you saw my previous video where I was comparing the A6 and the AM02 with just single channel memory, which is the out of the box experience for these systems, it's not great. It falls behind even a Vega 8 integrated graphics with dual channel. You know, I describe these systems as essentially projects where you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, but you are going to have to do some upgrades yourself to really get it to that next level experience. And while I do think the Firebat A5P does have headroom there for upgrades, I mean, it's only 16 gigabytes of RAM. You can get that up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. You can always upgrade the storage in there, because realistically nowadays 512 gigabytes is just not enough storage. But your starting baseline here is not a gimped experience at all. You're going to get pretty much the full performance of that 8745HS. And that's just with spending an extra $25 on top of the A6. The A6, where if you want to get the most performance out of that, you're going to have to spend a bit more money to get an extra memory stick. It's a worthwhile upgrade, and in a world with the A5P not existing, the A6 is an incredible fucking deal. But that A5P, it just pretty much dropped and changed the game again. I don't understand how Firebat is doing this. They are undercutting the market by about $100 across the board. Like, this is insane levels of increments. This is like what Zen used to be like. You know, like Zen 1 and Zen 2, they were pretty much like this, where $50 could just give you some massive leaps in performance. This is not something that we have seen for a very long time. I truly do not know how Firebat is able to compete this aggressively, but you will not find a better spec'd and better priced mini PC on AliExpress, on Amazon, on eBay, anywhere on the internet right now. You will not find a better deal than the Firebat A5P. At this price point, this is a no-brainer. Use that coupon, get that price down. This is such an insane deal. I'm kind of blown away. You know, I have not seen a Zen 4 system that is a complete package, right? Where like you can plug this in, start playing games, and have the full experience for $250. This is insane. Check out those coupon codes down below. Snag up this deal, because I'm telling you, Firebat is honestly doing insane work right now. I have sat through here and I have looked at every other system that is available on here, and there is just nothing that competes. I mean, perfect example, the GMK Tech M6 Ultra, $370, bare bones, and it's even more if you want to use a US plug. So bare bones, $373 for a Zen 4 6-core processor that only has the Radeon 7 60M. And you're still gonna have to put memory and storage in this thing. I mean, it's just one of those things where I can't imagine what anyone else would be buying on the market right now. There is just no one on AliExpress, no one on Amazon that can compete with such aggressive pricing. It's legitimately insane. I would love to know how Firebat is able to do it. I don't know if they just have their supply lines on lock or what, but the fact that they're able to sell this many units at this price point is insane to me. There is just no other systems to really look at on AliExpress unless you're looking for something that's really, really low budget. I mean, my God, look at this. The GMK Tech K6, a system that I like, by the way. This has the Ryzen 7 7840HS, the exact same chip as the 8745HS. 16 gigabytes of RAM. I'm assuming that this is dual channel, but I can't confirm that. I don't really know how it's configured, but I would imagine that it's dual channel. If we assume it's dual channel, it's at least matching the A5P, and of course it's also matching it in terms of the SSD size, but I mean, it's twice the price. It's more than twice the price, because you could get the other one for $250. This is $540 $42 on sale. Now, it might be different in your region, but at least here in the US, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the price points that they're selling this at. And what blows my mind the most is the fact that it's not literally the only system that people are buying. Like, how have 386 of the K6 sold and only 66 of the A5P have been sold? Like, this is insane. Look, check it out down below. This is the best deal going on in this sale, hands down, if you're in the market for a mini PC. I'll catch you guys in the next one.